What's going guys, Zennosh here, and today in this video of Exos Heroes, I'm presenting to you guys these tips, or let's say the guide on certain character hero units in this game who is going to be the source of mana, because they will provide permanent +1 mana gain to the front row allies or the back row allies. And guess what guys, if you are always going to channel those kind of permanent +1 mana gain, there are certain hero units that can pretty much take advantage of such situation, because there are certain units that will only require 1 mana cost to activate their skills. Just look at that. First skill of the Bernadette, Frostfang. It only requires 1 mana cost to get it triggered, and it will deal 300% damage to one enemy. And in this game, there is no such thing as mana, skill cooldown. And as long as you have enough amount of mana, you can keep on spamming your skill all day and night. That's one particular advantage. The next advantage is that you really don't have to start from the very scratch. Okay, you can already have a +1 mana head start, and that is definitely going to help you guys in spamming the skills in the way better way compared to your opponents. Okay, you will be able to spam your skills, or let's say nuke your targets way faster than compared in comparison. Okay, so there we go, that's that. So let's start this right away. The first candidate is going to be Bathory. Well, let's talk about her passive right away. It says Breath of Mana, and what Breath of Mana really does is that overtime effect, front row allies permanent gain 1 mana. Wow, that's really cool guys, just look at that. But only to front row allies, okay, please do keep that in mind. And there is the tranquil effect, grants allies with less attack than self with the tranquil mark. Okay, so please do keep that in mind, that the allies who are supposed to use tranquil effect from her should have lesser attack than her. If they have like higher attack than her, they will not be able to enjoy that tranquil status effect. And what this tranquil is actually going to do is that it protects the allies from death for one time, and the tranquil mark will be taken away from them. So what happens that if you manage to take a fatal strike and you are supposed to be dead, okay, because your HP went below 0, in that case your health is gonna be recovered by 5% to 10%, and you are just gonna be alive. Okay, so there we go guys. If you really want to counter this kind of effect, you can pretty much bring units like Baraka that can go with the final hit, because in that case he is just going to make sure that the opponents who were able to hang out thanks to the tranquil mark effect, he's gonna make sure that he is going to kill them with that extra hit, that final hit. Okay, so there we go, that's one way to counter that tranquil mark. And who are those hero units that are going to take advantage of the tranquil? So first of all, the first candidate is going to be Rera. Well, there are so many players out there who are pretty much boasting or demanding, saying that this unit, Rera, is one of the very powerful unit in the entire game, thanks to Bathory. Okay, just look at it guys. The first skill is known as Verdant Fire. It only requires 2 mana to be casted, deals 187% damage to one enemy, and guess what guys, he has a bite effect. If you are marked with Tranquil, deals 50% additional damage for each mana the target has. In the endgame content, when there are a lot of 6-star hero units in the opponent team, guess what guys, they can hold up to 10 mana at a time. 10 freaking mana. And just do your math, 50% times 10 equals to 500% additional damage. Jesus Christ, you can pretty much one-shot a target. How about her second skill? Deals 249% piercing damage to all enemies. It's a good damage multiplier right out there, piercing damage to all enemies. And it also has that bite effect that will improve her damage done by 500% more additional. Okay, that is so cool, meaning like you can pretty much annihilate the entire opponent team. Think about it. And this is also the reason why people are pretty much expecting Fate Core Rera, and they are also pretty much demanding her to be in the S tier or the SS tier. Okay, and I'm pretty much thinking about that one as well. Guys, if you have different ideas or extra ideas about her, please let me know in the comment section below. I would really love to hear about this Rera. And now let's move on to the next unit. Who is it? It's gonna be Uloom. Of course, the best combination out there in the entire game, that's gonna be the Bathory plus Uloom, because Uloom will be able to break the Guardian Stone of the enemy regardless of their element of the Guardian Stones. Okay, meaning like whatever the element of the Guardian Stone, he's always going to break that thanks to this walk effect. Okay, walk. if marked with tranquil, randomly destroys 3 of the enemy's guardian stones. So there we go, guys, and this is definitely helpful in the core raid because he doesn't care whatever the element of the guardian stone is, because in general you are supposed to match your element with the element of that guardian stone before you can break that guardian stone, right? But in this case, you know, like, it doesn't matter whatever the element is, he's just going to break them, okay? And the second skill is known as brutal thrashing. Walk. If marked with tranquil, randomly destroys 3 of the enemy's guardian stones. And guess what, guys? It's an AoE attack. And it has a really high damage multiplier, like 357% damage multiplier, guys. That's a lot, okay? And he can pretty much break the 3 guardian stones of all the opponents standing just next to him. So that is pretty much awesome, guys. And this is also the reason why he's being used more in the PvP contents, PvE contents, and especially the core raid. So that's that, guys. Due to synergy effect, Uloom is so superior, okay? Now let's talk about the next unit who is going to provide mana plus the synergy. That's gonna be Garff. Yes, you heard me right. This old man. So let's look into his passive effect right over here. Breath of Mana, it says, overtime effect, front row allies permanently gain 1 mana. And there is a synergy effect known as Command, grants allies with lower maximum health than self with the command mark and increases defense health by 20%. Jesus Christ, that's a lot. Damn it, I like that one because it just improves the endurance of the entirety, and you have that synergy called command mark as well. Now let's talk about the command mark. Who are the hero units that are pretty much going to take advantage of that one? So first unit is going to be Valarr, okay? The Valarr Morgules. Okay, so right over here, the executioner effect grants additional effect to you if receives a command depending on the state of the target that was struck by the skill. Okay, and with that executioner, he is actually going to enter into the impact phase. All other targets with the executioner mark lose 20% of the attack if a target marked with executioner dies. That is so freaking damn cool, meaning like you will have much advantage against your opponents as the time passes by, and if you manage to kill opponent one by one. And look at it, guys, his skills right over there. Executioner, first skill. If the target dies, all allies gain mana, 2 mana. This is also the reason why Valarr is going to be very efficient at gaining mana. He's gonna be having that mana boost so fast, so fast. The problem is that he should really manage to kill the target, okay? But if the target survives, the target gains executioner mark, and you already know that if the if the opponent with the executioner mark dies, they lose 20% of their, they pretty much... Okay, what is that? Sorry about that. I just got a little bit confused. All other targets with the executioner mark lose 20% of the attack if a target marked with executioner dies. Okay, so there we go. Sorry about that one, damn it. My mind is not really working right now, really that great. So anyways, let's talk about the next unit who is obviously going to have much advantage with that command skill. That's gonna be Rudley. Okay, so right over there, look at his fast skill. It's called Lightning Attack. Requires only 3 mana cost and single target attack it is, which deals 525% damage to one enemy, which is a really good nuke damage right over there. And he has a Vanguard effect right over there. Grants a barrier of 51% of own maximum health to self and another ally if marked with a command for freaking 12 turns when hit. Jesus Christ, wow, what the hell is that? Oh my god, he has a really good offense plus defensive capability thanks to that command mark. My god. And now let's look into his second skill, Decisive Strike. It requires 4 mana though. Single deals 750% damage to one enemy. Oh my god, there's effect, Vanguard, it says, grants a barrier of 73 freaking percent of own maximum health to self and another ally if marked with command for 13 turns when hit. Jesus, what the hell is that? Damn it. Oh my god, he has a lot of offensive and defensive capabilities, and yes, so many people are pretty much also demanding for him to be moved to the higher tier because he's just damn amazing, and he has really proved his worth by one-shotting the current meta known as Fate Core Zeon and Fate Core Anastasia thanks to that very high impressive damage multiplier. And people are pretty much demanding him to be in the either S tier or the SS tier. What do you guys think? Please let me know in the comment section below. Now let's talk about the another hero unit that is going to provide the effect of providing extra mana, and that's going to be the Rachel. Yes, let's talk about the Rachel first. Well, look into his counter right over here. It says flow of mana, back row allies permanently gain 1 mana. Now this is the first unit that is actually going to provide +1 permanent mana to the back row allies, and that's going to be very effective, especially in the PvP content. Just think about it, guys, because in the PvP content you are you are forced to put your offensive and your chaotic heroes in the back row, who are supposed to deal the best damage out there. You cannot put them in the front row, so you cannot take the advantage of that +1 mana gain from the Bathory or the Garff, and that's gonna be really sad story, isn't it? Right? So that's why having Rachel in your team is a must. Please try to get him right away ASAP, okay? And he also provides the synergy called Dishearten. Afflicts enemy with lower attack than self with the disheartened mark and decreases their dodge by 50. Oh my god, that's cool, meaning you will have much easier time in landing the hit, and defense by 20%. Wow, more damage guys, more damage. And now let's talk about those kind of hero units that's going to get help from that disheartened effect. First unit is going to be Baraka. Just look into it. First skill, Assassin Art. It only requires you 2 mana, deals 225% damage to one enemy, turn resets if target dies, alright, steals 1 mana from the target and grants 2 mana to a back row ally if target is disheartened. This is the reason why Baraka is so much preferred in the PvP content, because not only is going to deal some really good nuke damage, but also at the same time is going to steal the mana and provide 2 mana to a random ally on the back row, and that's definitely going to be helpful in your offensive capabilities. Okay, so there we go, guys. That's the Assassin Art. Now let's talk about the second skill. It also does the same thing. It steals 1 mana from target and grants 2 mana to the back row ally if the target is disheartened, and it has a 525% damage multiplier. That's really amazing, guys. That's just too amazing. This is the reason why Baraka is so much favored in the PvP content. And now let's talk about the another unit that is actually going to take advantage of this stuff. That's gonna be the XiaKhan. Okay, look at him, guys. Just look at him. It says right over here, if the opponent is disheartened, Decimate is going to trigger. Guarantees critical hit if the target is disheartened. Jesus Christ, that's so cool, guys. I mean, like, just try to provide a lot of attack stats on XiaKhan, but hey, guys, unfortunately, he's a defensive type unit, and this is the reason why he's really ranked as a lower tier unit. I mean, like, what the hell is that? I mean, like, if you want to make XiaKhan very powerful when it comes to like attack stats, you really need to spend a lot of resources on this guy, okay? And that's stupid. It really doesn't kind of like, like complement his nature, okay? Now the second skill, Deluge Dragon, it also says the same thing. Critical hit is guaranteed if the target is disheartened, and it deals 210% damage to all back row enemies. Okay, anyways, extra damage is extra damage, alright, but I'm not really that impressed though. But having critical hit might be quite important in certain contents of the game. But anyways, let's get this on, okay? And the next unit that is going to take advantage of this situation is obviously going to be the Fate Core Zeon. If the opponent having the disheartened effect dies by the strike of the Fate Core Zeon, he's gonna get the turn reset, meaning like he's gonna get another turn right off the bat, and that's gonna be really cool indeed, right? And Fate Core Zeon can really spam some amazing amount of nuking damage on the opponents, and having that disheartened effect is also gonna improve his DPS capabilities, okay? So that is pretty much it with the Fate Core Zeon, okay? And now let's move on to the next unit that is going to provide +1 mana plus the synergy effect, and that's gonna be the Shufraken, okay, or let's say Shufraken, whatever you call him. Let's look into his passive right away. So his passive says Breath of Mana, front row allies permanently gain +1 mana, just like Garff and Bathory. Fear of Abyss, it says the synergy effect, adds Fear of Abyss mark to enemies, not the allies, okay? Fear of Abyss marks to enemies with defense lower than you. So try to make sure that your Shufraken has a lot of defensive capabilities, okay? Or stats, okay? If targets have 10% or less health at the end of the turn, deal 65% damage to all enemies in the same row. Holy mother lord, okay? It's really going to deal some amazing amount of damage as long as he's always going to put a very good pressure on the opponents, getting their HP to 10% or less health. And that's going to be really amazing, isn't it? Okay? So that's the Shufraken for you guys. And now let's talk about the hero units that are going to take advantage of that passive effect known as the Fear of Abyss. Who are they? The first unit is definitely going to be Valentina. Just look at that, guys. All right. It says right over here, Contempt, Mana Burn, 10 mana if the target is afflicted with the Fear of Abyss. Like, what the hell is that? And it only requires 1 mana cost. And Shufraken also does provide that 1 mana cost effect right away. Like, what the hell? Jesus, that is so freaking damn amazing. Meaning, like, you are going to put a immense pressure on the opponents. I mean, like, just think about it. You are going to burn not just 1, 2, or 3 mana. The entire set of mana. 10 max mana, guys. Mana burn. Oh my god. If you really know how to use it nicely, wow. This is definitely going to be damn amazing. Though C really does lack damage output, but hey guys, I'm like that mana burn can be quite strategically useful, okay? Depending upon the situation. Because the maximum amount of mana that you can hold at a time is 10 mana. And if you can burn all those mana at the same time, what the hell? Second skill. Case of Despair deals 262% damage to one enemy, afflicts target with the Frostbite, alright, afflicts target with the Silence for 5 turns, alright, Contempt, mana burn 10 mana, and target is afflicted with the Fear of Abyss. She would have been more effective hero unit if she just had 1 AoE attack. That would have been just amazing, guys, alright. But anyways, being able to burn like 10 mana at a time, that is freaking damn insane. Valentina can be quite effective when she has this synergy having around, okay? So that's really good, guys. So first unit being Valentina. So who is the another unit right over there? The next unit is going to be Ramge. So just over here, right over here, guys. Look at that, okay? So first skill, okay, it only requires 1 mana cost. That's really awesome as well. Self-harm afflicts target with self-harm if target is afflicted with Fear of Abyss, dealing 45% damage every turn for 5 turns. Wow, there we go. That's quite good, you know, like dot skill, or let's say overtime effect right over there, which is definitely going to be helpful if you really are trying to fight in the core raid battles. Okay, his element is of dark element type, right? So if you have Shufraken and Ramge, they can be quite helpful in the core raid right now as well to you know, like break down all those guardian stones right off the bat, especially of the dark element type. And same goes with his second skill as well, where he deals 133% damage to all enemies with just only 3 mana cost, and afflicts target with self-harm if the target afflicted with the Fear of Abyss, dealing 26% damage every turn for 5 turns. So there we go, guys. That's the Ramge for you guys, alright? And that's really amazing. And now let's talk about the last unit who is going to provide such kind of effect, plus 1 mana and the synergy effect, and that's gonna be our waifu, the Japanese waifu, Jinai, the geisha. Okay, so look at it. Or maybe she's a ninja. Okay, whatever that is. A ninja geisha? Whatever. Okay. Flow of mana. Back row allies permanently gain 1 mana. Just so there we go, guys. I mean, like, there are 2 heroes. That's gonna be Rachel and Jinai, who is going to provide plus 1 permanent mana to the back row allies. Alright, so there we go. And Garff, Bathory, and our Shufraken are the heroes that's going to provide plus 1 mana to the front row allies. So there we go, guys. Please do keep that in mind. It will be quite useful, especially if you own those kind of character units. And there is a charm effect right over here with her. It says, afflicts enemies with lower attack than self with the charm mark. So make sure that the opponents have lower attack status than yourself, or else they will not be afflicted with the charm effect, and decreases their attack speed by 30. That is so cool, guys. That is really, really cool. This is definitely going to be very, very helpful in the PvP content, because with the help of attack speed, you will be able to outspeed your opponents and will be able to cast your skills way much faster. And thanks to permanently gain of plus 1 mana, certain units, like let's say Maggie, right? Her first skill only cost like 1 mana, right? And she will be able to use her first skill right off the bat thanks to that plus 1 mana. And that's going to be really amazing, isn't it? Right? So there we go, guys. Wow, that's really cool. Now let's talk about those kind of hero units that can pretty much take the advantage of her synergy. Okay, her synergy called Charm Effect. The first unit is going to be Jinn. Okay, this guy right over here. Wow, I mean, like, everybody is really praising this guy right over here, and he looks really cool. The ninja guy right over here. Let's look into this one, guys. Ambush. It says afflicts target with silence for 3 turns and burn 1 mana if target is charmed. So it can be quite useful in the PvP contents as well as in the PvE content, because like there are certain PvE contents where the opponents keeps on spamming their ultimate skill over and over again because they are just in excess of mana, and in that case if you just can burn their mana, it can be a very helpful situation indeed. Okay, and this first skill is known as Shadow Slash, and it only requires 1 mana, deals 180% damage to one enemy and turn resets upon the target's death. Okay, second skill only requires 2 mana. This is the reason why people really love him, because he's too fast. Okay, too really fast with that lower mana cost skills. Deals 375% damage to one enemy. That's really awesome. I like that. That's amazing. Ambush afflicts target with silence for 4 turns and mana burn 1 mana if the target is charmed. Alright, so there we go, guys. Silence and mana burn to those kind of opponents who are pretty much charmed, thanks to Jinai. And that's the Jinn who is going to take advantage of that one, and it's definitely going to be helpful in the PvP content. Okay, and let's look into the next unit who is going to take advantage of this synergy, and that's gonna be the Shell. Okay, sometimes I forget that she is really available in this game because I never see her being used, because she's one of the worst unit out there in this game. Well, let's look into this. Well, let's talk about this, guys. I mean, like, where is that? Okay, so right over there. She only has just this one skill. On her second skill, it says Clown's Performance, which only requires 2 mana. So deals 127% damage to all enemies. Okay, that's cool. An AoE attack. Hallucinate. Hit minus 30% for 4 turns if the target is charmed. Okay, so that means like your opponent is going to have much harder time in landing a proper hit strike on you, and it will be easier for you guys to dodge the attack. And that's that, guys. It's not really that super awesome. It's not going to really help you by miles, and 30% increase in the like decrease in the hit. I'm like 30% decrease in the hit is not really that something to celebrate, and this is the reason why like Shell is just like an empty shell. She's just too hollow, guys. I mean, like, this is the reason why like nobody loves her, nobody likes her. She's not even a wife. You like, what the hell? So that is pretty much it. So let's try to review it up. Let's try to summarize it up. Okay, first of all, it's gonna be the Bathory. That's going to provide +1 permanent mana to the front line units or allies, and she synergizes with the Rera. Rera is going to deal like additional damage, up to 500% additional damage if there are like 10 mana count on the opponent's team, and that's going to be really hurtful to the opponents. And next one is going to be the Uloom. With that synergy effect, he's actually going to be able to break the Guardian Stones regardless of whatever the element of the Guardian Stones they really do possess at the meantime. And next unit is going to be Garff. Is also a mana provider, that +1 mana provider to the front row allies, and he also provides the synergical command, which can be used, or let's say which can be taken advantage by Valarr and Rudley. They can really do a lot of stuff, especially Rudley. Wow, I really like it. Thanks to that command skill, he's going to have that offensive plus defensive capabilities right off the bat, thanks to that super impressive barrier. And the next unit is going to be Rachel, who actually is going to provide +1 mana boost to the back row allies, which is definitely awesome for the PvP contents. Yes, you heard me right, okay? Because in the PvP content, the attack type, or let's say the offense type hero units and the chaotic type of hero units that are pretty much responsible of dealing a lot of damage are forced to be placed on the back row. And the units that are going to take advantage is going to be XiaKhan, who is going to have a guaranteed critical hit rate, meaning like critical damage, okay, guaranteed critical damage if there is a disheartened effect provided by the Rachel. And next unit is going to be Baraka, who is gonna steal the mana and provide 1 mana to himself and 2 mana to a random ally on the back row right off the bat, and that's going to be really amazing for the PvP content as well. This is also the reason why Baraka is freaking amazing for the PvP content. And next unit is going to be Fate Core Zeon, who is going to get that extra effect, or let's say extra turn right off the bat when he actually defeats a opponent with that dishearten effect. Okay, so there we go. If he defeats the opponent with dishearten effect, he's gonna gain an extra turn. And the next unit is going to be Shufraken. Okay, this guy is really damn amazing. This old man right over here, I don't know if it's really a old man or not, but he really looks too good. All right, a villain type of character unit, and he's going to provide that effect to Valentina and Ramge. All right, so that's really cool. Ramge and Valentina can really take advantage of his synergy effect. And the next unit is going to be Jinai, the final unit, who is going to provide +1 mana to the back row allies, just like Rachel, and she is going to provide that charm effect. But sadly, Shell cannot take a very good advantage of it, whereas Jinn can actually provide get some really good advantage out of it, because he will be able to like burn 1 mana and also cost that silence on the opponent for 3 turns. And that's pretty much it. That is that, guys. 5 total units who is going to provide mana plus that synergy effect. Okay, so this is it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button to keep on enjoying the contents of my channel. See you guys in the next video.